Two, one. Good morning, everybody. First, before we get started, I want to make sure that everybody can hear me. One sec here, I'm pulling up on my personal page. Yep, I can hear us. All right. Ed, if you wouldn't mind saying something real quick.
Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3.
It's a little lag. I just gotta wait for me to hear it in my headset. Perfect. All right. So, good morning, everybody. This is your boy Derek. Mom said, whatever you know me as. I have the pleasure of sitting with Ed Brewer. He's the Senior Vice President of Sales and Training for American Car Center. Finally got him on camera. I talk about some different things today, specifically sales, leadership, and just really, whatever the conversation takes us. So before we get into the meat of everything, Ed, if you wouldn't mind, kind of tell us about yourself. I'm saying, give us, who is Ed Brewer?
I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois. Moved down south to Alabama to go to college about around 2000. Got in the car business. I applied to be a lot porter, and I got sent to the wrong manager and ended up on the sales floor. So it was a life-changing mistake. Started off at a Chevy store with 60 salespeople and kind of worked my way into, solid, decent salesperson. Got an opportunity in a company in Atlanta to move into management. And I think I was maybe 22, 23 years old and just been trying to, progress ever since. So that's kind of how I got into the car business.
Strong. How long you been in the car business in?
I started in 2001.
So, walk me through, you came with American Car Center. What was the motivation to join up with this company instead of staying on on the franchise side of things?
Well, actually, I started as a salesperson in franchise and kind of worked my way up to some extent. But my first management opportunity actually was in buy here, pay here. So my experience or skill set is more geared to that particular, that particular market. The thing is, if you compare buy here, pay here's, this one has one of the better programs. Far as what we offer the customer, which makes it easier to do business and deliver more units than what you would find at traditional buy here, pay here's, where they have their own kind of mom and pop in-house financing. So American Car Center it was kind of a layup decision. When I was comparing my opportunities, I had a couple opportunities to move into franchise, but work-life balance is important. Compensation is definitely important. But I was just more comfortable with this particular industry than doing franchise, if I'm just being honest.
Gotcha. I know, I haven't been with the company for too long, but as I've traveled around to these different dealerships, one thing that surprised me, with this auto group versus a lot of them is the employee retention. What are some of the things that y'all have put in place to make sure that employees are happier to stay longer than a lot of other auto groups?
Well, the car business is going to be turnover regardless of what company it is, just because the salespeople have a really tough job. I think it's important that the management group understands that they are the engine of the company, and really we need to just set them up for success and just kind of get out of the way. So when it comes to retaining employees, I think the continual education is definitely something that you want to try to put them in position to have. Unfortunately for us, we're growing so fast. It's a gift and a curse. We're growing so fast that sometimes our game plan is kind of outrun by our growth. So we'll put some things into place, and then just as soon as we do, there's a brand new location we need to get to and get going. Having conversations with the regionals, we're developing some things that we think will be a beneficiary. Right now, we're kind of planning to move around and do another set of regional specific trainings. So I think we just did Orlando last week. We did Tampa last week. We're going to be in Montgomery tomorrow, and then the first week in January, I think we have Nashville. So we're going to be doing some things like that, trying to again put them in position to be successful. Bringing on the dealership operations teams like you guys, to giving them additional tools to be successful, showing them how to generate opportunities, because that's what it's really about in sales. It has nothing to do with industry that you're in. The person that has the most opportunities is going to be the one that's the most successful. So if I can give you any kind of gems on generating opportunities and then capturing the business, that's what we need to work on in order to make sure our sales staff makes money. And that's really what all retention is a work-life balance, having fun at work, and having making enough money to sustain yourself.
Absolutely. So I kind of want to transition. You're going into kind of the mindset behind sales. Just generating your own opportunities and some of the stuff that we do. Talk about sales. You know what I'm saying, for someone who's newer, or maybe even for someone who's struggling, in sales, especially with being Christmas. What tips and tricks would you give to kind of keep them motivated, to keep pushing to finish out the month strong?
Well, I'll tell you this: as a salesperson, I wasn't extremely gifted originally. I mean, I kind of went through a period where I was average or below average to begin with. I think that my first 3 months, I think I sold between 6 and 8 cars as a salesperson. I didn't have very much of a game plan other than showing up for work and hoping somebody pulled on a lot that was interested in buying a car. So I think that sales can either be the most profitable, easiest job you had, or you'll be very poor and work extremely hard. So it's all about the consistency in your daily activity, doing the same things every day, not just on Saturday or Friday. Every day you have to put together a game plan of how you're going to be successful and how you're going to get to your goals. So with me, I just figured out that, hey, every day if I get 3 test drives, it winds up turning into a car deal. So my focus became every day: how do I get 3 test drives, and how do I get 6 appointments, because that's 3 test drives, and how do I get 60 calls, because that's 6 appointments. So once I kind of figured out the math behind what it took for me to be successful, I just did that every day. I don't think that I had anything spectacular to say more differently than what the next salesperson did. I just felt like I would outwork them. So that's kind of how I did my thing as a salesperson. And then eventually you'll get to a point where your skill set will become better, and you won't have to make as many telephone calls in order to have the same level of success. But in that, if you continue to do that, then your numbers will go up. Instead of being a 15 car a month salesperson, you turn into a 20. And better you get, you'll turn into 25. You can even do it to the point where if you're going to take vacation, that you need to have this many more telephone calls this week than you would the next week when you plan on taking off, in order to still hit your numbers. So it's just about figuring out what your game plan is, and that's part of the activity report that we send out every day, and so that you guys have an opportunity to see what your peers are doing versus what you're doing. Unfortunately for us, some of our better sales reps don't log all of their activity, but with them doing 25, 30 cars a month, I'm really not going to beat them up too much about that. But that's how I did it personally. That's how I stay consistent.
So another quick question for you. With the sales, of course, you stated earlier, we're growing. We're growing pretty fast. Going to be looking for more people, and it's always good to have a pipeline of talented individuals. What specifically are we as a company looking for? Maybe it's for the managers, I guess, and that next person that we bring into the fold.
Well, it's a 2-part question. If I was a manager looking for a salesperson, I would look for people who can generate opportunities. The rest of the skill sets that you learn in the car business, they're not specific to certain people. I think that anybody can be taught what to say and when to say it. So that's the number one thing that I look for in a salesperson. And as it relates to managers, we really like to promote from within. Last year, I think we had 28 promotions to management staff from the floor. And it's easier to do that because the salespeople are already already familiar with our processes and our belief systems. So the thought process is, if I have a salesperson who's solid in the CRM, who's solid at does clean business and credit apps, who's generating opportunities, if I put them in charge of people, they'll replicate themselves inside their employees. So when we look for people to promote, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for somebody who's consistent in their daily responsibilities and getting it done. So that's just a layup right there. If I look at the numbers and I see that there's one salesperson that consistently is putting together the information properly, has clean deals, we're going to try to give that person an opportunity faster than somebody else who's doing 20 cars but may have 10 cars they're getting back and traditionally doesn't do a good credit app, because you'll have a whole lot of people who are doing it the exact same way.
Makes sense. Where do you see us going in the, what are the goals as we close out 2019 and go into 2020? Of course, the tax season is about to hit. What are some of the goals that you want us to set going forward?
Well, I might be the bad person to ask. I always like to have record months. As a regional, my last year I had 8 record months. So that's why I don't know if that's a realistic expectation. But I like DJ Khaled's another one. So that's how many more do I need? Another one. So
Kobe. What do you call it? The Kobe thing?
The Kobe, seriously, the Kobe. I can't think of Kobe system. Yeah.
There we go.
How many more championships can we win? More championships. So my number's not specific to my sales staff, man. I just want everybody to compete to the best of their ability. We come to work and we talk noise and we compete with each other as a group. But at the end of the day, I want to see everybody successful. I know some people don't look at it this way, but as a member of management, the biggest responsibility that I have is to make sure that you guys are able to take care of your families. So for me, when I'm sitting here and I'm having a bad day and I don't feel like doing something, that's kind of what I fall back on. Like, is it fair to make sure that this salesperson doesn't have the opportunity to do what they need to do because I'm messing around? So I just that's kind of how I approach it. And we have some salesperson specific goals, but everybody's goal is different based on their own personal numbers. I have some personal goals that I like to achieve as far as our production, but I think that this is the best company that I've ever worked for. It provides a tremendous amount of work-life balance. They don't mess around with your compensation. If you got something coming, you get it. They give us a lot of time off with holidays, 4th of July, things, Labor Day, where traditional dealerships are open and we're at home enjoying our families. So that's kind of an important part for me, is just to make sure that you guys enjoy coming to work. You're able to make money. Everything is transparent. You understand what you need to do. Sometimes our message kind of gets lost in translation. If everybody, somebody tells a story to another person, sometimes the message kind of gets convoluted as it goes. But I want everybody to come to work, have a good time, get home safe, and make enough money, extra money to do the things that's important to them.
Love it, love it. Well, I'm excited for this upcoming year. Of course, y'all tax season is right around the corner. My personal goal is, hopefully we'll be able to break every dealership's record within the company with some of the stuff I'm planning on doing. But that's coming. We're gonna test it out and get it rocking and rolling. But any last words for the guys out there watching?
No, just keep grinding. Every day is a new day. You've never seen the day. So it's Maya Angelou quote. I don't know it right offhand, but she's like, I've never seen this day. It's a beautiful day. So let's see what this one holds. And just stay consistent. We see you. We understand that, when we have internal issues, that we're not blind to them. We're working through them as a group. If you guys ever need anything from me, you can reach out to me. I don't know. Everybody always asks me for my cell phone number after training, which is amazing to me, because it's on the email that I send every single day. It's at the bottom of my signature. So if you have any questions, you can reach out to me there on Facebook. I try to be as active as I can and add as many as you as possible. I think I'm at 5,000 friends, so I'm going to clear out some room if you guys send me some friend requests. But anything that I can answer for you, David, or any of the regionals, we'll be glad to do that. If you think that there's a tool that you need to be more successful, please reach out. I don't have any really original ideas. Most of the stuff I got out was learned characteristics, learned traits. So if you got some tools that you think will be successful to inside of the company, something we can do to make you help you be more successful, please reach out and get us that information, and we'll look into it to see if we can do it. But other than that, man, I appreciate you guys.
Yes, sir. I just wanted to do a quick little thing here. That's one of the big things that I love about this company. Typically in an auto group of this size, being able to just talk to the senior vice president, that's just not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? You can barely get in to talk to your general manager. So in upper leadership, it's like, hey, I'm approachable. I'm here to help you do your job to the best abilities. What I have, you have. That's something that's a refreshing approach to my automotive side of things. So I love it, man. I love it. All right, y'all. We're going to jump on out of here. Finally got Ed on the camera to do his thing.
I hate this.
It's good, though, man. We got a lot of folks watching, so it's definitely It's definitely a hit. All right, man. Thanks so much for your time, sir, and I'll see you on the next one.
All right, take care.